Mm-mm-mm. Mm. What a beautiful day it was. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Man, what a day. What a day in this market. And just like every other day, it's pretty much the freaks running it. It's the freaks running the freak show, and we're just a part of it, you know? Maybe we're the freaks, honestly. I don't know. Could be. So Dow up 1.7%. Big gains, almost 600 points. S&P up 1.4%. Nasdaq up 0.8%. I told you I'm a bull in this market, and God bless you if you try to short this stuff because this is just the game that they play. And look, would I be surprised to see stocks fall under pressure tomorrow? Not at all. But these were pretty substantial gains, and we're gonna get to exactly why that happened. So let's get to the other stuff though. Gold put on a solid gain, and we're back above 1775. We put on 0.8%, 1783. Silver pretty much flat. Oil though, oh my gosh, oil, and this was the big driver. Again, when I've said this before, when you see oil outperform, and look, I've said oil is going much higher, oil is going to outperform, and you want to own bank stocks that are highly leveraged towards crude oil, such as JP Morgan, which I took some profit on today. And so oil up $2 today, almost 3%, and that was why we saw the Dow put on more than twice the gain that the Nasdaq put on. And it was just a beautiful day, but a loss for the middle class of America, which continues to be shafted by the Federal Reserve. And because they're saying inflation's transitory, and there's this whole confusion going on. Now the market understands what's going on here, which is why it rose, because we had Federal Reserve President Williams, who is a permanent voter on the board of governors for the Federal Reserve, come out and explain to people that inflation is temporary. Okay? It's not temporary, but let's just, why does the market rise off of that? Because what Williams is really telling the market when he says that is he's saying that we quote unquote don't think it'll last, and so basically there's no reason for us to stop the policy, because if it were rising fast, or if the market expected the Fed to think that it was rising so fast, then the market might start to sell off in anticipation of the rate hikes. Now, I think the market has it backwards, but the market understands that it needs to play the game the Fed is playing, needs to kind of put this facade forward that, oh yeah, if inflation got bad enough, we would taper our balance sheet, or we would raise rates. Again, they're not going to do it anyways, but that's the game. And so after Williams came out and said that, and we had some other presidents coming out, but I'm not even going to talk about them. We saw the dollar diving. The dollar finished about 0.4% lower, back below 92, so pretty solid move lower in the dollar. And we saw gold, silver, stocks, oil put on very nice gains. All right, that's what it is. But talking about the game, we had Steve Mnuchin coming out here, who was the Treasury Secretary under Donald Trump, and he said, we need to tighten, we need to go into a period of tightening and normalizing the bond portfolio and thinking about raising rates. So I said, this is classic de facto positioning to keep people convinced that there is a real science behind this, rather than just the desire for raw power and the expansion of debt. Because what did Steve Mnuchin do? I mean, the Fed was way out of control when he was, in office under Donald Trump. I mean, the lockdowns that started, off of the thing that happened in March of last year lasted for the entire year. And, in my opinion, all the science shows that the lockdowns are BS and they don't work. You can look at other countries that didn't do it and they're the same rates. Actually, they're way better. And you look at the US, we just have terrible health, and I think that's a huge reason why we suffered. Although, who even believes the data? Because all the tests are manipulated, there's incentives to manipulate the deaths. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to say too much because I'll probably get flagged on YouTube or something. But you take looks at all this stuff, and believe me, Steve Mnuchin, as stupid as he may be, he knows all of this is going on. He knows the entire game. So why is he coming out right now and talking about how, oh, the Fed needs to tighten? He did absolutely nothing to stop the Federal Reserve. Steve Mnuchin was the #1 Treasury Secretary for strengthening the power of the Federal Reserve and crushing the middle class in history. Now, Yellen will probably be quite a bit worse, but in terms of all of them that existed, he has been the worst. And he said absolutely nothing about it other than, little things here and there. But look at how much the Federal Reserve's balance sheet expanded under Steve Mnuchin. Look at the way that the Treasury worked with the Federal Reserve to pass things in Congress that the Fed is paying for. Where's the money coming from? We don't have the money. It's printed out of thin air. And who gets stuck with the bill? We do, the taxpayers. So it's just such a backwards system. But you need this facade, again, that there's actually honest people coming out here and saying, oh, this is bad. We need to be scared of the Federal Reserve, and even the Federal Reserve president is coming, oh, we need to raise rates probably, But I follow people that predict the Fed, and in my past, although I haven't been reporting on this for long, I understand the Fed, I believe, and I've predicted them very well, and I follow people who have predicted the Fed very well. So, whenever you hear people coming out here that we need to raise rates and everything, they'll say that we need it, but they're not going to tell you that's what the Fed's going to do, because they know the Fed won't do it. They're just going to tell you that, yeah, inflation's really high and we should raise rates. If I had a way about it, yeah, I would stop the debt issuance like that. I would, what would I do? I would destroy the Federal Reserve. I would have a real market in currencies. I would have a real free market in the entire monetary thing, and I would rebalance the economy to get rid of all these distortions. The financial sector is far too big. The manufacturing sector, I believe, would be much larger if it weren't for these policies, and maybe same with the tech sector, but tech is good. Productivity and everything like that. So, that's why the stock market put on gains today. Period. End of story. We had the 10-year yield rising substantially. And so here's another fun thing. I've talked about this. You see the 10-year yield fall on days when there's fear in the market. And the fear is precipitated by these Federal Reserve presidents or whoever coming out saying they're going to raise rates. So the rates drop when they say they're going to raise rates because that's money flowing into a quote-unquote safe haven. But just notice how backwards this is. The rates went up today, but yet the stock market gained. And it makes sense to me because cash is coming out of the debt market and the market is starting to understand what the Fed is telling it. But just look at these things and notice how backwards, how controlled this market is from top to bottom. And that's how you take advantage of it. I know gold and silver haven't performed well, but if you've been in crude oil, if you've been a bull in this market since I started doing this, I'm sure that you've been making money. I have losses right now, but I have been making money on oil. I have been making money on bank stocks, and it has been good, and it will continue to be good. Believe me on that one. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but you play the long-term game. You don't. I'm not a day trader. I've tried day trading. I'm honestly just not that good at it. It's not like I couldn't make money, but for the amount of effort that I have to put in just to make small gains, I'm way better to just play this long-term game. And so understand what kind of works with you, how you can play this market to take advantage of it. So I think that's about it. There's other stuff I could cover here, but I really think I hit everything that drove this market today, and we'll see how this plays out, but it's looking good, looking like a good setup overall for this market to go higher, for gold and silver to go higher, for oil to go higher, and that's really that. So I will see you tomorrow morning. I don't want to. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks.